October 7th was National Propane Day, celebrating that vital energy source across the country. Joining me now for an update on the propane industry is Mike Newland. He serves as the Agriculture Business Development Director with the Propane Education and Research Council. And Mike, thanks for joining us this week.
Thank you very much.
I want to talk to you about a topic I'm hearing more about, and that's renewable propane. Mike, what is that?
Well, from a molecular standpoint, it's identical to conventional propane. The equipment you're burning it in would have no idea that it's a different fuel because it's virtually not. It comes from a different source is really the only difference.
So let's talk about the sourcing. Then how is that different versus conventional propane?
Yeah, so renewable propane would come essentially from fats, oils, and greases that are being made into biodiesel or sustainable aviation fuel. And that's really where those streams come from for our renewable propane. There is a really neat one out there that we're seeing more and more gallons of renewable propane made, and that's camelina. Camelina is a cover crop grown in very dry areas. I've been out west, looked at the crop myself. I just wanted to see it in person, see what it was. And that particular plant is a cover crop, as I mentioned, fantastic for the soils, gives everything a chance to rest, get recharged before you go back into your main crop. But camelina has double the volume of oil in the seed that soybeans do. So it's a very oil-dense grain. And from that, we produce incredibly low carbon intensity propane, along with the biodiesel, the sustainable aviation fuel.
So as you're looking at that incredibly environmentally respectful propane coming from the camelina plant, who's buying it? What's the market for renewable propane gas today?
Yeah, today it goes mostly into fleets, on-road fleets, so trucks that would be delivering mail between USPS centers, things of that type. We are seeing it start to move into some residential areas in the country as well. Within the agriculture space, we've not yet seen it migrate into the ag space. I think it may be a few years before we see that happen.
That makes sense. And from an environmental perspective, how much cleaner is renewable propane from the conventional?
Well, and I think that's a great question. It's great to point out. Conventional propane today is incredibly clean. I guess that's really the point that I want to make sure everybody hears. We don't have a dirty fuel today. Renewable propane, though, is about 80% cleaner than conventional propane, so from camelina. So camelina produced renewable propane is about 80% better than conventional propane that you're using today.
And do you expect to see the renewable propane gallons being made in this country continue to grow as you look down the line, Mike?
They absolutely will. We've identified a lot of different paths. There's a number of universities working on new paths to produce renewable propane. Everybody's working on cleaner fuels, and this is another one of them. The beautiful thing is it's a true drop-in fuel, meaning we don't have to adjust any equipment. The equipment has no idea that it's burning a different fuel because molecular, it's identical.
And it's there today, which is always nice when we're looking to improve the environment. Mike Newland, Director of Agriculture Business Development with PERC, thanks so much for talking to us this week.
You bet. Thank you.
You can get more resources for putting propane to work on your operation by visiting propane.com.